sending data from one place to another. That's what port forwarding and triggering is all about. In this edition of Tech Talks, we'll configure port forwarding and port triggering on the RV340 Series Router. Next. Port forwarding is a technology that allows public access to services on network devices on the local area network, or LAN, by opening a specific port for a service and response to inbound traffic. The port is left open to receiving incoming traffic. This is set for a single computer on your network. You need to add the specific computer's IP address, and it cannot change. After a resource on your LAN sends out outbound traffic through a trigger port, the router listens for inbound traffic through a specified port or port range. Triggered ports are closed when there's no activity, which adds to the security. Port triggering can be used by any computer on the LAN. You don't need to add the computer's IP address to the port triggering rule. Only one computer on the LAN can use port triggering at a time. Once we log into the router, we can click on Port Forwarding under the firewall settings. Here, we can click on the Add button to choose the traffic we want to allow. In this example, we want to allow SMTP traffic. However, if we wanted to allow different traffic, we could choose from the list provided, or we could click Service Management and create a custom service with a desired port. For the internal service, we will also select SMTP. Next, we can enter in the IP address of our server in the internal IP address section. We need to choose the interface that will port forward traffic. In this example, it is WAN 1. We'll apply our changes to finish. Next, we're going to configure port triggering. We'll first click Port Triggering, and on this page, we'll select the Service Management button. Here are all the available ports. We'll use SMTP port 25 for our trigger port. We can click on the Add button to create the incoming port that we'll use. For this example, we'll use port 112 as the incoming port. We can add a name, and we'll click on Apply to save. After that, we can enter in our application name. The trigger service is the port that will send outbound traffic. The incoming service is a port to receive the incoming traffic. We need to finally choose the interface that we will be using for the internet traffic. Now that we've configured port triggering, the router will listen for traffic being sent out to the trigger service or trigger port. It will automatically remember the IP address that triggered the port. Inbound packets are then forwarded to the same IP address through the incoming port. We'll click Apply. Next, we'll save our configuration. We'll click Apply to save. And that's how to configure port forwarding and port triggering on the RV340 Series Router. Thanks for watching this edition of Tech Talks. We'll see you next time.